Hey y'all, welcome to Raisin Crafts and Sensational Stamps. Today I'm going to be working on a Christmas card here. This is the card we're going to make, except I'm going to use a different Santa image here. For the card I'm making today, I'm going to use Santa and Friends. Who's this guy? This image here, what ends up being our card shape, is a file from birdscards.com. It's called Santa's Sleigh. And I just went ahead and mirror duplicated it and made it into a card base with different layers. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. So let's go ahead and get started. If you click the information bar below, you will find a link to my blog or a link to all of the blogs on the design team, depending on which YouTube you're watching. And you will find, on my blog, you will find a list of supplies and measurements for this card, and also links to where I found both Santa and Friends and this shape here. And somewhere along the way, I have lost a trim piece for my sled. Which, well, it doesn't surprise me. It kind of angers me a little bit here, because I probably lost it while I was digging through looking for the other one of these. Which kind of just, oh, there it is. Haha, I found it. I rescued it. Yay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I also used the Hero Arts stamp and cut banner set for our little sentiment to go on the front of our card. So I'm going to move this window here so I can see, so I know what you guys can see. So I'm going to set these layers aside, and I'm going to work on the card base here. But I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Okay. So what I do is I just start to bend it so I can line up the bottom part of my card. And then I just pinch that seam there, and then I come to the back and I do the same thing. I just line it up so that it's even, just like that. Now if you want to, you could go ahead and score your lines here. I use a silhouette machine, and I discovered today that there is in the replicate panel, there is one where it will replicate and mirror it. So it makes lining it up super easy, which is what I did. So now I'm just going to take some art glitter glue, and I'm going to take it across the front of this card, because I've got a layer that didn't cut off where they joined to make the full sleigh shape. And I'm going to go ahead and just get that on. Just like that. So we've got a complete sleigh. And I've got something on my table. Okay, now I'm going to zoom back in so you guys can see a little better. Okay, so I'm going to grab this image, which all I did was took one card base and I took the cut tool and I just slid it apart for the inside of our card. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside message. And I'm using Unity Stamp Company's Embellished Season stamp set today. And I'm going to use some Memento Cottage Ivy ink. There we go. And I'm going to pull that away. I used the same ink to stamp the Merry Christmas for the front of the card. And the stamp I used on that was Anna B Designs. So I'm just gonna put some glue. You could use ATG or whatever adhesive you prefer, but for me on this card it's just easier to glue everything. Okay, so now I'm just gonna line up, and my primary point for lining this up is I use this back part of the runner here, and I line that up, and then it kind of, once that's lined up, everything else just kind of falls into place like that. And it looks like this one's a tad long, so I'm just gonna kind of sliver off the top. Ooh, it's quite a ways bigger. Okay. Do I need to cut some more? It looks like I do. There we go. Okay. So then we've got the inside panel in with our sentiment like that. So now I'm going to put my front piece on, and on my first card you'll notice that it didn't line up right. The skis. For some reason when I made it, I didn't have this front part selected in the file when you separate it to do everything. I forgot to group it back together, so I had to kind of piece this back to fit, and I couldn't get it to fit exactly, so it's a little bit off. So I just went ahead and cut that part off of the red for this one, so then I don't have to worry about it, because that kind of bothers me. I know most people won't even notice, but that's my OCD kicking in. So I'm going to once again just grab my glue, and this time I'm going to line up this back portion. Just like that, and that'll get everybody in there nice and good. Okay, now I'm going to grab okay, my ski is off a little bit. Apparently it was hanging over the edge of my paper when I cut it, and I didn't notice it. But it's done. All I did for these was I cut white cardstock and just covered it with Versamark ink and Ranger Ultra Fine Gold embossing powder, and we're gonna go just like that, and it kind of will shrink up a little bit on you, but once you start gluing you can kind of stretch it back out like that. And you'll notice badly on this one it kind of shriveled up as it cooled, but it'll lay out just fine. And I did the same thing for both the trim pieces. Oh, that was smooth. Okay. So we'll go ahead and okay, there we go. And once again, I'm going to start on the back here. And I'm just going to start laying it out like that. Okay, I've got this back wrong here somehow. Alright. So I'm going to peel this up. There we go. Okay. Alright, well, I didn't get this one laid out quite right, but you get the idea. I'm going to come in with my bone folder and kind of work this piece a little bit, see if I can get it kind of settled down. There we go, that's better. Okay, so I went ahead and I put Santa and Friends on one layer of foam tape, and I just lined him up where I wanted him and kind of turned it over to see where he hung over, so I don't have to worry about getting adhesive or foam tape where I didn't want. So I'm just going to peel the backing off here, and this is older foam tape, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of glue over top of it, just so I know it's going to stay. And I'm going to go ahead and press him down, just like that. And I'm going to pull in my little banner here. And I'm going to cut this back part off because I don't need it. I'm going to tuck it under like that. So I'm just going to put a little adhesive on the back part of our little tag there. And it's going to hang off a little bit, but that's okay with me. And that's our card for today. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all next time.